Confucius wisely said, "Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall." Good morning. My name is Florence Silva Rodrigue. I'm a Senior 2 student, a proud member of the Bailey House family, and I've had the privilege of being a part of the Appleby community since grade 7. Today, I would like to share with you why I believe the virtue of resilience is crucial to live a happy, fulfilled, and successful life. We have all heard expressions such as, "What does not kill you makes you stronger," but what does that really mean in our daily lives? How can we abide by this? Easier said than done. Let me start off by being very clear. Being resilient does not mean never experiencing stress, suffering, failures, or disappointments. On the contrary, being resilient is the ability to go through these hardships. Wisdom, courage, and strength only come from difficult life events. Without them, there's no growth. We often tend to complain about what we have lost rather than accepting our new reality and making the best of it. It is normal. It is human nature. But it is not healthy nor productive. Your success in life will never be defined by the number of times you fell down, but rather by how many times you got back up again and how you did it. There are countless stories of resilience around us, some bigger than others, but all are meaningful. Why? Because each of us needs to fight our own fight. Some may even have to fight the same battle more than once before winning it, and that is okay. There is an American author I like who greatly inspired me and helped me go through difficult times. His name is Eric Greitens. He is a former Navy SEAL, and he wrote that no one escapes pain, fear, or suffering. Yet from that pain can come wisdom. From fear can come courage. From suffering can come strength, if we have the virtue of resilience. He says that resilience is often endurance with direction, and that sometimes those things that are the hardest for us can actually be good for us if we have the tools to transform our suffering into strength. Now, you may wonder, how can we use these profound life lessons at our young age? Believe me, you can, and you should. I have had the privilege of having great mentors over the years who really helped me grasp the importance of this. First, my mother, who despite unbelievable hardships throughout her life has managed to achieve her dreams, from having been taken from her biological mother at only 6 weeks old, to growing up quite poor in a small French-Canadian town, to living on her own at 16 and having to work and to study to put herself through law school. She could have abandoned this path 100 times and chosen an easier one, but she did not, and now she is one of the most successful lawyers in Canada. On a more personal front, given her past, having children was also a priority for her, but she struggled, losing 3 babies before finally having me. Obviously, I'm pretty happy she did not give up. She is the prime example of how transforming struggles into strengths is highly beneficial. My stepfather, who raised me since I was 18 months, is a role model to me. He wanted to become a lawyer more than anything else, but was refused admission into law school for 5 consecutive years after his undergraduate degree. 5 years of being told your grades are not good enough. He never quit. He went back to school over and over again and kept trying until he finally succeeded. He has now been a leader in his field for over 2 decades. Finally, many of you are already familiar with the story of my coach, 2-time Olympian Mandy Bujold, who not only left her hospital bed to compete at the Rio Olympics in 2016 after suffering from a stomach flu before the quarterfinals, but who also recently had to fight the IOC in court to win her duly deserved spot at the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games, after having been the victim of discrimination because of her pregnancy. Mandy wanted to give up that fight a few times. It was emotionally and physically draining for her to have to take on the IOC every step of the way and to constantly be told that she cannot attend the Olympics. She did not. Her resilience now benefits all female athletes in the world. These stories taught me how to push through struggles and why resilience is a powerful tool to succeed in life and to achieve your dreams. It has served me well from a very young age and has made me stronger as a student and as an athlete. For example, some of you may know that mathematics is not really my cup of tea. I would much prefer to write 10 essays back-to-back than write 1 math test. No matter how hard I work, the number of tutoring sessions I have been doing since grade 3, and the unbelievable dedication of my teachers, I just cannot get the results I want or that are proportionate to the amount of work I put into it. I used to say it's not a side of my brain that works well, but Mr. Lewis once told me that I was a perfectly normal mathematician. I'm not too sure about that. Sweats and tears have continued over the years, but I pushed through. I remember the first time I got a 92 on my math test, and I was so happy. I thought it was a breakthrough and that I was finally out of the woods. Nope, the next test I was back down again. Was I disappointed? Yes. Frustrated? Absolutely. But did I give up? No. I worked harder. I worked harder because I accepted the fact that this subject does not come easily to me, and I have to work harder at it than some of my peers. I cannot be good at everything, and that is okay. Having resilience got me through it, and I am satisfied with my final mark in math, not because it was high, but because I worked hard for it. As a competitive Irish dancer, success came easy to me. I was on the podium at Canadian Championships from the age of 7 and collected trophies after trophies throughout the years, nationally and internationally. Then one day, I did not. During the Great Britain Championships in October 2016, I did not even make the recall into the final round, meaning I was not even in the top 50% after the first 2 rounds. I was shocked. It had never happened before. I felt humiliated, and all I wanted to do was go to my room and cry. My coach came up to my room and told me that I needed to suck it up and be a role model to the younger dancers to come out, cheer, and support them no matter how I felt. She was right. Over and above the sportsmanship aspect of this, I could not let this so-called failure define who I was as an athlete and as a person. So, I went and supported my team. It was really hard, especially watching the medal ceremony in my category that evening. I held my head high, but I was devastated inside. Canadian Championships were to be held just a month after, so I could either let this affect me or use it as my fuel. My coach had designed my dress with a phoenix on it to illustrate how I would rise back from the ashes. Talk about pressure. But it worked. I finished second, a few points behind the dancer who finished first, qualified for the World Championships in Dublin for 2017, where I had my best results to date, finishing my dance career on a very high note. Now, I could have given up in England, but I did not. It was scary and my self-confidence took a hit, but I used my disappointment to motivate me rather than bring me down. I transformed the struggle into strength. The same is true for boxing. As a girl in a male-dominated sport, I've been told I should go back to dancing and that I do not really belong in a ring a few times. More importantly, I've been scared to death to face some of my opponents. I remember my first training camp in Ireland where my defense skills were essentially inexistent and my mouth guard was bloody within the first 10 minutes. My mom wanted me to quit, told me I did not have to do this, that maybe I was not ready, and I told her, no way, I'm here, let's make the best of it and learn. It was really difficult, but I was determined to prove to myself that I could do this. I discovered a strength and courage I did not even know I had. I discovered the importance to fight with your heart, and I channeled my fear into inner strength and gave it all I had. Now, I had way more failures than successes in my boxing career. Not winning was okay because what I did was more important. I proved to myself that I belonged there. I held my own. After all, as the greatest boxer of all times, Muhammad Ali, said, defeat is declared not when you fall down, but when you refuse to stand back up again. This is a life lesson that applies in and out of the boxing ring. Now, what resilience may look like for each of you will very much depend on what life throws at you as you embark on one of the most exciting yet challenging times of your lives. You will no doubt face uphill battles and disappointments in the years to come. To the Senior 1 students, I know that the grade 11 year is challenging. Do not be discouraged. Use hardships as teaching moments. I promise you it will pay off. If you do not get the grade you wanted on a test or an assignment, roll up your sleeves and believe that you can and you will do better next time. If you are not chosen on a competitive team next term or do not get the role you think you deserve as a vocalist or musician, see it as an opportunity to try something else rather than as a failure. Do not be afraid to apply for grade 12 leadership positions and do not give up if you do not get the position you wanted. There are plenty of opportunities for you to shine during your grade 12 year, and not everything will revolve around one of these official leadership positions. You will find your place. Your ability to bounce back from these disappointments will be key to having the best year of your life next year. To my fellow Senior 2 students, as we are moving into the next exciting phase of our lives, believe in yourself and never, ever give up on your dreams. As university admission letters are starting to come in, take a deep breath, enjoy the moment, and know that not getting admitted into your top choice of university is not the end. You may end up loving much more than you ever anticipated the university you end up going to. Again, these are not rejections or failures, but small bumps on your road to success. Each change in your life plan is a new opportunity, and it will also never be too late to try again and reapply if you feel really strongly about a particular school. If you're not chosen for a varsity team, try again the year after or look for one of the hundreds of other opportunities your university will have to offer. You might fall in love with the club or get involved with other activities that will end up changing your life forever. You may also have to change programs a few times until you find your fit, and that is okay. Not every path is a straight line. There is nothing that can stop you from achieving your dreams if you remain resilient and face adversity with your chin up high. The world is truly your oyster. Let's all embrace our inner strength and believe that our time at Appleby College and the support of our friends and families have more than adequately prepared us to face the challenges ahead with courage and determination. It will not always be easy, but it will always, always be rewarding. Thank you. Please rise and sing hymn 656.